good that James is putting it
Yeah,
out there
big
for
thanks
everyone
to
to
James.
learn from it. But one way to make sure your heart stays healthy is by getting enough sleep. Around a third of Brits say they've struggled healthy is by getting enough sleep. Around a third of Brits say they've struggled with insomnia at some point, and stress caused by the cost of living crisis is making it harder for so many to get a good night's rest at the moment. Now, Doctor, what are some of the most common triggers for insomnia?
So insomnia is a very common sleep disorder. It makes it difficult to sleep, or it makes you wake up early and then you can't drop off back to sleep. Now, just so you've got an idea of what you should be aiming for, on average, adults should be getting between 7 and 9 hours of sleep a night. Kids should be getting between 9 and 12, and babies, which is relevant for you, should be getting
Hopefully mine gets 12 hours when it comes.
well, between 12 and 17 hours of sleep a night. So that's a lot.
They'll be all right. It's you that's going to struggle, I think.
Oh, my God.
Now, there are lots of things that can actually contribute to poor sleep. Some people might have medical conditions like thyroid problems or mental health issues that can cause it. Women in the menopause, sadly, sleep is a thing to go. But the biggest contributor to insomnia is actually stress and anxiety and depression. And right now, with the cost of living crisis, of course, it's really affecting people. 25% of adults are telling us that money problems are keeping them up at night. And I know that because I'm seeing it in my clinic.
Yeah.
That's
and then, of course, it adds to health problems. And Dr. Goody, I've heard this before. People say that sleep or sleep deprivation is the beginning of all evil.
Well, that's a very big statement.
It's that serious, though, isn't it?
It is really serious, and I'm glad that you're actually taking it seriously, because I don't think we do it enough. It should be a public health issue. And what's interesting is that I'm a bit of a sleep geek now, but when I first started medicine, it was a bit of a mystery, and doctors don't actually get taught a lot about it. But the science on sleep is fascinating, and I've taught it myself because I know it can help my patients, but to be honest, it also helps me. And that's because the thing that disrupts sleep more than anything else is shift work. And lots of people in this country do shift work, not just doctors and nurses, lorry drivers, people who work in supermarkets even. And the thing is, the science around sleep has looked at this group of people because they are the ones that actually have sleep deprivation the most. Sadly, the evidence on this is pretty alarming. So the thing with sleep deprivation is that it causes a huge amount of stress. It floods your body with the stress hormone that's called cortisol, and that increases your risk of things like heart disease. Obesity, diabetes, even things like Alzheimer's dementia. And if you get less than 5 hours of sleep consistently every night, your risk of early death goes up by 15%.
It's so serious.
15%? That is a big figure, isn't it? So what are some tips that we can